Today, I'm doing a little walk through the Maroochy Regional Bushland Botanic Gardens. If you want to see what the natural bushland for the Sunshine Coast region is, this is definitely a location to visit. There are gullies, hills, remnant rainforest. Some plants have been labelled, which is really good for identification. Lots of plants you'll find in the national park, but reserved here at the Botanic Gardens. The walkways are pretty good. Lots of habitat, topography, vegetation, species to look out for. It's a fascinating walk. And there are quite a number of different trails to go through here. And they've invested, I'm just looking up ahead of me now, in some really good, interesting pathways and bridges. It's a little bit like what you'd expect in a movie scene, I think. A very good little structure, goes over the creek. So hopefully when it's raining and pouring rain, you'll see it gushing down the creek and you'll be able to see the waterfall that it creates, or the water feature. But a nice high elevation to get the best of the location, to really appreciate the bushland itself. Now, I'm loving the fact that the climbing pandanus is growing. I've noticed a whole lot of other species that are also on my property, but here in its natural bushland setting, it's nice to appreciate how they grow wild, how this parcel of land has been kept aside for future generations and, of course, for the current generation to see. So whether you live locally or you're visiting the area or you've got visitors from overseas, this is a really good alternative to a national park for people to walk through. And I know the Friends have been putting a lot of their volunteer time into improving this over the years and years that they have been involved with this Botanic Gardens. And they've made a lot of improvements, enhancements to particular areas. There's a little cafe on site as well, so if you need a bit of a refreshment, you know where to go. It's just keeping it all in-house. And yeah, I kind of like this. I'm going to continue on my walk. I'm going to add a couple of little close-up images of interesting plants that I see along my walkway. Native guava. Edible fruit. I can't see any flowers on it right now, and therefore no fruit. Pity I wouldn't mind a bit of a morning brunch at this time of the day while walking. Always when walking, hat, water, very important. If I see a snake, that's going to be a different thing. I don't have a snake kit with me, but I'll just avoid it to be safe. And okay, I'm not too sure which way I'm going to go now. I'll tune in again when I get to another little habitat ecosystem with another update. I'm walking through the gardens here and I can smell something. It's really, really nice, and I've got no idea what it is. I'm looking around for flowers, for scent. It could be one of the lomandras, but the smell is absolutely divine, but I cannot find the fragrant plant in question. And it is a bit weird. It was down in that little low area, more prominent. I'll have to one day figure out what that one was. So if anyone is watching and they know this Botanic Gardens, if they can suggest what that fragrance was, please add it to the comments. I would love to know. You probably will need a full day to explore this Botanic Garden. The wealth and the breadth of horticultural species here is really impressive. You get to see textures and forms and shapes. And if you're lucky enough, some of these species may actually be growing in your garden. But it will also help with identifying the plants in your garden if you are a local. So a destination to go to is the Maroochy Regional Botanic Garden. Now, it's quite different from a lot of the others. Most other botanic gardens highlight diversity of different species, different genera from around the world. This is different. This really specializes and focuses just on the local endemic species. And it's highlighting how variable it is, which is really important. I know a lot of the people involved here are really keen to expand and to preserve the biodiversity that is already in this area and to protect those species from habitat destruction. And the only way to do that is to put them into cultivation. And this is one way that they are actually achieving that quite well. As you can see, there is always ongoing maintenance. They are doing repairs, they are doing maintenance, which is a really good sign. The pathway is excellent for wheelchair access and for mobility issues. Obviously, some paths you can't go through if you have walking restrictions. And walking up and down, I'm a little bit out of breath, but I am trying to get as much as I possibly can. I have a time limit, and I think there's some more. There's another trail. Let's see where that goes. It's a little meeting area. Kind of looks like it could be a prayer area, maybe an exercise area. If you think you know what it's for, folks, leave a comment and we'll find out. Do you think it's aliens? I better back out. Maybe it's aliens. I better go. Okay, let's look somewhere else. This is native ginger, Alpinia caerulea. And I'm quite interested with this plant for a number of reasons. In the landscape industry, we seem to be deficient of enough stock. And what I've noticed, although there's a lot of seed pods, do you notice how some of them are brown? Let's have a closer look. Completely eaten out. There's a grub that is causing the reduction of the seed population and therefore the lack of the plants in the nursery industry. In fact, is it there? Nope, it's gone. So what we're finding is that although we're getting really good seed pod production, we're just not getting viable seed. And that could be a problem maintaining these plants and getting them back into bushland situations, because the pest, which I assume is a native pest, is eating the seed of our native plant. Just be aware, folks. Just thought I'd show you that. The problem we have in the horticultural industry, getting viable seed because something is eating the insides of these seed pods. In some of the most traditional classic images of horticulture and landscaping, there are arbors which have hanging flowers and pretty ornate colours. Now, I've just come in at the time when it's not flowering, but this is Ticamanthe hillii, the native Fraser Island creeper. And the flowers of this is absolutely stunning when it's in flower. So I do recommend coming at the right time. And it's still growing. It would have been a wonderful display, but right now, in the middle of summer, it's finished. So perhaps when you visit, you might be lucky enough to get the flowers. Now I'm just looking, in the distance, what I can see are berries from a nearby tree, not the flowers itself. So Ticamanthe hillii is definitely a beautiful native climber, and looks like This is the native pepper growing up as well. But that doesn't really have a nice flower, but it does have edible fruit. Okay, let's keep moving on and seeing what else we can find here at, oh, I've got to show you this. Now, I grow this at my place. This is the native plumbago. It is a stunning plant to grow. It only has a little tiny flower, light mauvey flower, but it gets the blue plumbago butterfly that visits it. Botanically, it's Plumbago zealandicum. So it's not from New Zealand or whatever. It's just our native, low-growing plumbago, and definitely look for it. I think it's one of the better plants to create a low shape in your garden. I wish councils would use this in their median strips. It would be perfect. You just mow over the top or clip over the top with a whippersnipper. Incredibly low maintenance, and you get all of these flowers and the native butterflies. There's a few flying around. I don't know if the film will actually show them, but they're having a wonderful time just flying around this particular plant. The gardens has become a place of also displaying artworks, as you can see here in the background. There's a whole plethora of art competition awards or displays, and you can come along and use the scan code to make your decisions based on which ones you like. And there are a lot of options available. I'm just going to walk past a few, so they're in the background, and I've highlighted just a few also in the video. But interspersed between all the vegetation, the singing cicadas, the bird life, this little bit of human artwork is a lovely addition. And I have to admit, some of it is absolutely stunning. Now, while you're here, you've got plenty of covered barbecue areas. Toilet facilities are here. I mentioned there's a cafe already here. It's a wonderful escape, something a little bit different to take your family to and explore the natural vegetation that is here on the Sunshine Coast. And trust me, there's a lot of walkways around here, and you might even get lost. Oh, there's another one. Let's go have a look. This is just a small little pond in amongst the rest of botanic gardens here. It's probably focusing on the ecological benefits of water in the garden. And why not come and have a look? There might be some frogs, maybe some toads. Dragonflies I've noticed, damselflies. There's something in there, fish probably. And I would say the fish would be there to reduce the mosquito population. So definitely another little thing, a hidden gem to investigate and to find at these gardens. These are the native Plectranthus, which are now in the Colis group of genera. They are grown because they're herbaceous. They have beautiful little spikes of blue flowers. And our native bees and insects absolutely love them. Now, the flowers are not elaborate, they're not huge, they're not massive, but it is one of the plants we can add to the garden to add more biodiversity in the garden. So look for Australian native Plectranthus. That's how they'll be sold, although they have been reclassified as coleus. But yeah, great plants, herbaceous, soft foliage plants, and they just fill in the spots and grow really, really, really well in shade. Some of the collections, like the Maroochy family, and the Leptospermums, the Bacchias, everything from the taller shrubs to dwarfs. The Maroochy group is incredibly diverse and highly attractive. You've got the clistamens, the melaleucas, the Leptospermums. There are a lot more. I've only just mentioned a few, but definitely a lot are featured here at the Maroochy Regional Botanic Gardens. When visiting the Maroochy Regional Bushland Botanic Gardens, there are 5 main walks. The Lagoon Walk, that's around about 900 metres. The Whiptail Walk, about 600 metres. The Creek Walk, which is 1.6 kilometres. The Upland Bushwalk, which is 2.8 kilometres. And the Tall Gums Bushwalk, which is 3.9 kilometres. The Fern Gully is very easy. It's around about 500 metres. And the Sculpture Garden is round about just under 1 kilometre. It's worth checking out. So when you visit, plan your trip ahead so that you know where you're going, what to expect, and you should be able to find all of this information on the Sunshine Coast website.